I don't understand why you guys think that Khamzat Chimaev winning against Dricus du Plessis is even going to be a good thing for the sport. Dean Thomas pointed out that if Khamzat Chimaev wins, it's going to be one of the worst things for the company ever. Listen, Khamzat Chimaev has fought once per year only up to 2022. He had 2 fights in 2022. You know what those 2 fights were? Gilbert Burns taking him to a decision in a striking battle, and then him ragdolling Kevin Holland. I mean, congratulations. Congratulations, you ragdolled Kevin Holland, okay? But we've seen people facing these Dagestani dudes. I think the biggest issue that people are running into is fear. I think that these dudes are like, oh my god, I'm fighting Sharaputin Nurmagomedov Khamzat Chimaev. You know what I mean? He's going to wrestle me. If he gets a hold of my legs, it's game over. If he gets my back, it's game over. I feel like these dudes are walking into the octagon with that mindset. And Gilbert Burns showed that that's not even possible. Okay, Gilbert Burns is one of the most mid-level strikers I've ever seen. His jiu-jitsu is one of the best I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie, okay? I understand I haven't been the nicest to Gilbert Burns on this channel, but his striking is subpar. Let's keep it a buck. He took Gilbert Burns to a 15-minute... Gilbert Burns took Khamzat Chimaev to a 15-minute close decision. Are we being real here? Dricus du Plessis, I'm not going to lie to you, beat up one of the best strikers in the middleweight division, Israel Adesanya, okay? Even though it was kind of a little bit after his, descent of, his spiral downward, okay? I was trying to be nice to him, but it was a little bit deep into Israel Adesanya's spiraling downward, but it was still a grudge match for them both. They were both fighting for the title of King African, you know what I mean? Dricus du Plessis has battled it out. Okay, he's beaten the odds before, and I'll never forget the night on Twitter when Dricus du Plessis overtook the underdog status and beat up Robert Whittaker and knocked him out in the second round. Okay, the memes that day were absolutely beautiful. All right, then he goes on to beating up Sean Strickland. Okay, he beats up Sean Strickland for the belt, submits Israel Adesanya, and beats up Sean Strickland again. All right, this dude's on a roll. If you didn't know, this is his 3rd title defense. When I heard that, I was just like a little bewildered. I was like, how many fights did I miss? This is his 3rd title defense. But if Khamzat Chimaev, for whatever reason, when Khamzat Chimaev is walking to the octagon and Dricus du Plessis just like vanishes into thin air for whatever reason, like the atom split and he falls through the octagon and lands in the back rooms, if Khamzat Chimaev becomes champion, right, for whatever reason, by whatever means, we're fucked. We're screwed. We are never going to see the middleweight belt ever again. He's going to be worse than John Jones. All right? I'm going to be honest with you. We're only going to see him in any Arabic state. That's it. We might even see him in China. I'm not going to lie to you, but he's not coming to America. All right? I understand you guys are saying, Khamzat Chimaev is trained in America. We've seen training clips of him in America. We saw him playing soccer in America the other day. Yeah, that's different than getting commissioned for a sport by a board of directors. Something must be up with Khamzat Chimaev and like whatever medically he has going on that the board, the commission, won't approve him. They approved Power Slap in Las Vegas. They can't allow Khamzat Chimaev to go in there. It might be the cleft lip. Who knows? But you also have to think, another issue that's going on in all fights is the mental warfare that's almost as powerful as punching somebody in the face, is directing war via your brain. Dricus du Plessis has made the past 2 opponents cry back to back. I think he's going to be going with a 3rd one, all right? Khamzat Chimaev is not the prettiest guy, all right? He has the cleft lip thing going on, all right? He has a lisp. He has the immunity disorder. He only fights once a year. He took Kamaru Usman, who has shattered kneecaps, to a 15-minute decision, and most people thought that Usman made it extremely competitive. Khamzat Chimaev is going to cry. There will be some tears, and Dricus is going to sit there and laugh and giggle, all right? I think that Dricus du Plessis is going to win this fight before they even step out into the octagon. I think Khamzat Chimaev is going to try to out-aura Dricus du Plessis, but I think once Dricus lets some jokes fly, the fans are going to be on his side, and Khamzat Chimaev is just going to be done up. He's just going to be shouting broken English into the microphone at the press conference, and Khamzat is just gonna look like a fool, and it's gonna discourage him. He's gonna go back to the hotel room. He's gonna be extremely upset, and he's gonna walk out to that octagon, and it's gonna be exactly like I said earlier. He's gonna shoot the double leg. Dricus du Plessis is gonna grab his ankles and basically Batista bomb him through the octagon floor, and then TKO him on the floor. I don't think that this is gonna be on to a decision. All right, I honestly do not see a world where Khamzat Chimaev gets a win over Dricus du Plessis. I understand Khamzat Chimaev took out all of Robert Whittaker's teeth and put them on a chain and he wears them while he spars. I've heard those reports. I've heard them. Robert Whittaker is not Dricus du Plessis. Yes, they do have a similar opponent in Robert Whittaker, and Khamzat Chimaev submitted him in the first round. But Dricus du Plessis, man, he has plot armor. I really don't know what to tell you here. Khamzat Chimaev is just not meant to win. He's absolutely not meant to win. If he wins the belt, we'll never see it again. All right? The UFC is probably going to make somebody sneeze next to him the whole time he's over in Chicago. I mean, you're going to be in Chicago. He might get robbed. Dricus du Plessis might join a gang. All right? He might join a gang and then, you know, incite those gang members to go hang out at Khamzat Chimaev's hotel room. You never know. You never know what's going to go down in Chicago. All right? Chicago's a wild place. But I really do think that Dricus du Plessis gets this done, boys. Absolutely. He's plus 150, and I think that's a little bit disrespectful for a dude who's on his third title defense. You know what I mean? He just beat one of the most decorated middleweight champions of all time in Israel Adesanya. He beat up Sean Strickland twice pretty decisively. I know a lot of people say, sorry, I should have cleared my voice box a little earlier, my bad, boys. But I know a lot of people say that first Sean Strickland fight was like extremely competitive. I'm going to be honest with you, and it is a split decision. Dricus won that. Dricus won that fight. Let's keep it a buck. All right? Khamzat Chimaev is barely squeezing by through the rafters. His last three opponents, boys, are Robert Whittaker, Kamaru Usman, and Kevin Holland. All right? And it's 2024, 2023, and 2022. All right? Dricus du Plessis is supposed to win this. If Khamzat wins this is the bad ending for all UFC events going forward. All right? For the middleweight division, actually, period. And the middleweight division is a little bit not really that stacked, but they're staying pretty active, those boys. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm trying to pull up the rankings while I'm speaking. You know, I'm just trying to throw some filters in there. But, yeah, the middleweight division is actually pretty active. You know, Nasruddin Imavov is kind of just sitting on the number one spot. I mean, I can't really blame him. Carlo Brajalio is supposed to be the backup fighter for this fight. Jared Cannonier's fighting Michael Venom Page. Robert Whittaker just came off a loss. Renier de Ritter's ranked 5. Izzy should honestly be out of the rankings. He's ranked 4. But if Khamzat wins this, boys, it's not going to look good. They're going to give Paulo Costa that rematch. Absolutely. I mean, not the rematch, but they're going to throw Paulo Costa in there and be like, fuck it. You know what? If he's only going to fight, if Khamzat's only going to fight once a year, we're going to get a big pay-per-view sale and we're going to throw Paulo Costa in there. Absolutely, for sure. All right? This card is actually pretty good, though, boys. UFC 319, you know, it's pretty solid. We got Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. We're going to see Aaron Pico's demise on there. Carlos Prates on there. MVP versus Jared Cannonier. Tim Elliott versus Kaya Sakura. There's a lot of bangers on here, boys. Chase Hooper's on here. Edson Barbosa. There's one fight on the early prelims, and it's 2 women. All right? So they threw that on there so you knew, hey, you can miss the first fight. You can actually go out and enjoy your Saturday for a little bit. All right. I'm looking forward to UFC China, boys. I want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and watch some fights and then, you know, stay up until whenever, all right? Anyways, boys, I'll catch you guys later. Lock in those bets. Make sure you go tap into my video that I dropped yesterday going over my bets and parlays for this weekend's card. I got some good underdog picks in there. Plus 600s. Plus 600s and plus 900s. Only had 4 bets. I only put 4 bets. One is a plus 600, I'm pretty sure. But one's a definite plus 900. All right? I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Shout out to everybody who's watching this. If you made it all the way, I really appreciate you. Hope you guys have a good day. And I'm out of here.